art blocks in art school go way worse than it did in high school. There are a lot of people out there, and this is true, that see you based on your art only, and your entire worth is just like how good you draw, which is so ridiculous, because a lot of us are still so young. Like, we don't really know what we want to do yet. It's like 9:30 a.m. in the morning and literally no one here is in the lab. I need to start working, and I need to like really pull through until like dinner time today, because there's just so much work that one person has to do. Like, I looked at my schedules, I look at the days we have left, and I need to animate like multiple shots a day. It's like 10 days until my deadline, so I started really crunching this week. Like, I've been waking up at it's like 8 a.m. right now, and I've been staying in the labs until like 11, 12, or even 1 a.m. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I just settled down back home, had a lot of fun times catching up with friends and family, and as you can tell by this video, I am an art student. I just finished my second year studying animation, which means I only have halfway left of art school, which is also a scary thought. But in this video, I just wanted to like kind of reflect on how art school has been so far and what I wish the younger me knew before coming to art school. Because yes, I was thinking about the education, what I would learn, the curriculum, and even the name of the school, because I got into my dream school that I've been wanting to go to since I was like 15, but I never really thought about how going to art school would affect my lifestyle, or even the way of thinking I have now is drastically different to when I was still in high school, and how I approach art and my relationship with art and all of that stuff. So I just wanted to make a video talking about things I wish I knew before coming here. Sorry to say that this video is not an expose video of why you shouldn't go to art school. It's more of things you should be thinking about, more like your lifestyle rather than just like improving and grinding in art, which I feel like is not talked about as often, just like on the internet and in general. Like, people are so focused on like polishing their craft, but they don't really talk about how when your hobby becomes your career, how that affects you as a person, and just like when you're surrounded by art so much, how that affects you mentally and physically too. So to answer the question in my thumbnail, no, I do not regret coming to art school, but there was a lot of things that I was like, dang, I wish I thought about this way more before coming, or I just could get used to it quicker, because it did took a long time to really get to where I am today, like mentally as an artist too. So yeah, I hope this was insightful, and let us begin. By the way, these nice flowers, my grandma, my pawpaw just was like, oh, she just bought flowers, and then I was like, oh, what are you gonna do today, Vida? And I was like, I'm gonna record a video, and she's like, you should put them in the video. So that's that, and that's my daughter. My penguin, I wanted to put her here because it was in my like how was first year of art school video, so I thought it would be cute if she was in here too. Also, one more thing, my art shop, everything is now live, so please check it out. Your support would mean so much. I put a lot of care into making these products, so please go give them a home. I currently have a new art book that I explain really in depth, more than the video, about my step-by-step process on how I made my second year animation film, as well as a little cute keychain design, which is right here. It's really cute, and if you open it, yeah, isn't it the cutest? So yeah, please check it out if you're interested. Okay, without further ado, for real, let's begin. So I think the reoccurring theme within the few points I want to go through is the idea of balance, because, you know, when art just suddenly becomes your whole life, that's like a very big shift in balance. So it's all about that, and becoming an artist without going crazy because you're thinking about art all the time. So number one I want to talk about is when your hobby becomes your career. It's actually a bigger shift than I thought, because like in high school, of course I had to do a lot of academic subjects on top of art, and at the time I was like, I wish I could just like focus on art. But now looking back, like I realized the academic things actually kept me sane and kept me not thinking about art all the time. Additionally, my art class in high school was very visual arts, more fine arts based, rather than the art I want to do now is more commercial and like a lot more like anime style and things I want to do. So in high school, I had a really big separation between what was things that I wanted to do versus like things that were school. But when I went to art school, this whole thing shifted because one thing my art school does really well is that it helps you really like work on your artistic voice to really develop it. However, that artistic voice is like what is the thing I want to do, and that also becomes my academics as well. And it's also really hard to judge like what makes things good and what's a bad thing. Like art is so subjective. It's not like in a math paper, like you do this amount of questions, you get these wrong and you get a grade. But in art it's different. Like one man's trash could be another person's treasure. So that was one thing I had to figure out pretty early on, is what like keeps me sane, like what makes me happy that I will do for myself and what I will do for my career or my school. So now a lot of the things I do are interconnected. Like my YouTube channel, I posted my second year CalArts film, which is obviously like my homework assignment, but I still try to keep like a line between it. For example, like location is a big thing for me to figure out the balance. Like if it's schoolwork, I would go to the school classroom to do it. If it's like a personal illustration that I want to draw, I would do it in my room. Another thing is just finding hobbies other than drawing, because I think that has helped me become more sane in so many ways, and these hobbies can actually help me become more inspired. For example, as you guys know, I like dancing, I like playing the piano. Those help translate over to some of my like art stuff or like building my brand online as an artist. But it also is like a hobby that like is not academic at all. It's just something that makes me feel good and feel happy. So I think having hobbies outside of drawing was really important to me, and I think more people should know about this, because some people just draw nonstop every day, and a lot of the people get art block or lose motivation because their one hobby becomes their entire career path and academic path, and you don't want to be thinking about like your career and your schoolwork all the time, right? So it's a good thing to have hobbies other than drawing. And of course, you don't have to have dancing or playing the piano or anything art related. You can have like a very non-art related hobby too. You can just be like going to the gym or walking around. Like it doesn't even have to be anything super productive. You didn't have to make an end product. Just for yourself to keep that balance was really important. Number 2 is dealing with art blocks. Like art blocks in art school go way worse than it did in high school, because of course, like sometimes you don't even have time to have this art block because your assignment is due soon and you have to draw, right? So it was really figuring out what keeps me inspired all the time. Like as I said in my previous videos, I would go on walks or just listen to music on Pinterest, and that also helped me be constantly inspired, but also constantly reminding myself like, why am I pursuing this art path in the first place? Like for me, it was like, of course, you guys, I really like inspiring people and just bringing positive messages through my art and hopefully bringing some sort of comfort to my audience as well. But any artist can have a different reason for why they started drawing or why they want to pursue this. Like for some, they may be so inspired like watching a lot of feature animations growing up, maybe like Pixar, maybe Disney, maybe Ghibli, and that's why they got into it and they wanted to create same things for the younger generations. So if that's your thing, then go for it. Just have that goal in mind of why you started in the first place and really keep it to your heart, because times when you feel so tough and like, oh my god, I can't draw anymore, like you need to tell yourself that reason again. And I think that's really helped me to like stay sane throughout these art blocks, even if I don't want to draw and I have to keep drawing. Number 3 is being surrounded by artists. Like I love all my artist friends, don't get me wrong, but I also go a little crazy sometimes when all of my conversations have to do with drawing. Like I cannot. Like some people can do that, which is good for you, but I think it is so important to have friends outside of the art bubble to keep you like knowing that the world isn't just about drawing. Like there are other things other than art in your life. Like for me, a lot is talking to my family, and they would tell me of things going on at home, especially because I study abroad, so it like puts me in perspective, like, oh yeah, like the world isn't just about drawing. And that also brings me to my point of like self-worth, because when you go to art school, I'm not here like out exposing blah 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 artists, but there are a lot of people out there, and this is true, that see you based on your art only, and your entire worth is just like how good you draw, which is so ridiculous. So you will encounter people like that in your life no matter what, no matter like what school you go to. So it's more knowing your own self-worth, and not everything of me has to do with art. So when I talk to my friends outside of the art bubble, I think that keeps me saying like, oh yeah, my whole life isn't only about art, and there are other things as well, and my self-worth isn't defined by how good I draw, which is so important to hear, because I feel like so many artists subconsciously think that like, oh, if I do this, if I draw like this person, then I'll be so good and people will not look down on me and blah 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 blah. But it's not about that sometimes. Like I feel like you should draw mostly for yourself, and obviously if you need to work, then draw for whoever is hiring you, but you shouldn't like draw to like appeal to other people's expectations. Always draw for yourself and find that reason, as I said from the previous point. Number 4 is having a good support system. So as I said earlier, you're gonna encounter so many artists. Like some of them are like the sweetest people ever, but there are also gonna be artists out there that are like so rude and do not care about you, and probably if they want to care about you is probably only because you draw well, not actually because they know you. So really have a good support system and think about who you want to truly be close with. Like a thing I noticed, like in first year, I was very excited and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be friends with everyone. But I realized like that was actually really unsustainable, and it was better for me to make friends who were closer to me and truly really cared about me, rather than having a lot of friends without actually caring about me. And I think that doesn't just go to art school, but just for university as well, because that's what I heard from all my non-art student friends too. And even if you're alone in a new environment, like there are other ways, like we have technology now, so you can call your family or whoever you were close to in school, or even like your Discord buddies, just anyone that you are comfortable, like keep your support system close, because you will need them in times. Because I feel like right now it's just so hard to have a career, like a lot of, like for example, the animation industry is not in a good position. Like even the best artists don't get hired, and there's a lot of rejections and stuff you have to deal with. And so like it's okay to feel sad, and it's good to have people that will support you no matter what. Number 5 is really listening to your inner voice. Art as a career, of course, it's unstable. Yes, I know that, but there's a lot of hardships and like mental hurdles you have to go through to really figure out your own artistic voice and what you want to do. Like even for me now, there are so many things that I'm still like learning and I still want to explore. So there's a lot of like different paths to choose from, so always like really listen to your inner voice of what you want to do. And what I said in point 2, right, like really reminding yourself of the reason why you wanted to draw in the first place, that reason is probably your inner voice. So really listen to it when you come to these hurdles or figuring out what you really want to pursue in the future, because a lot of us are still so young, like we don't really know what we want to do yet. So this inner voice will subconsciously guide you. And when I was talking to my mentor, so every person in my school gets assigned an artist mentor, I was telling them like a lot of my peers want to do this, and I want to pursue something else. And my teacher was like, anything is valid, like it's your life. You don't have to be swayed by other people's or society's expectations. Listen to your inner voice and whatever is right for you. And hopefully you can also bring food to the table. You should really just follow what's in your heart. That sounds so cheesy, but I feel like more people need to hear this. I feel like in this day and age, like there's a lot of pessimism about pursuing your dreams. So it's good to be reminded once in a while. The final point, number 6, I wish I could tell my non-art school self is I went to art school to learn. I didn't go into art school becoming a master already, because then what was the point of going to art school, right? I know a lot of people, when they go to art school, they might be really talented already. However, please know that you're in art school to learn. I always got imposter syndrome, especially I feel like first year. And I also had this constant desire to be like, I need to be better than other people. I need to be better. Yeah, but really, if I think about it, do I really have to be better than other people? Like, I realized that it's okay, like, to put that ego aside. Like, I'm here to learn, so even if I'm not the best, it's okay. I'm here to learn. Like, I paid for tuition to learn, not to be the best and flex on people, right? So that's probably how I dealt with like that imposter syndrome better. Is just like, everyone has the space to grow, and like, everyone's not perfect, and other people can draw like you and you can't draw like other people, so there's no point in comparing. Yeah, and just have fun. I feel like a lot of people are like so focused on like the little things, on being the best artist or getting a job. Like, they really forget the process and fun of learning. I know that sounds so cheesy and I sound like such a good student, wow, but I really think like there's so little enthusiasm in this day and age. Like, I go to art school and everyone's so jaded, and I'm like, and not gonna lie, for the longest time that has affected me too. I was starting to become less passionate in drawing, and that's probably also contributing to why I didn't post on YouTube that often in like the past 2 years. I was also figuring myself out and like other stuff. But yeah, like now when I reflect and I look back, I'm like, I can be passionate about things I want to do. Like, there's nothing wrong with being like genuinely excited and genuinely hardworking. Like, I know people will shame you for that. They'll think you're like try hard or whatever. But like, if that makes you happy, then who cares? Like, if things make you happy, then who cares? Like, at the end, we're in this world, I feel like, to be happy. Yeah, so that's basically all I wanted to say about things I wish I could tell myself before coming to art school. Yeah, it's really been a journey, and I think the biggest takeaway is having an art life balance, as well as always listening to your inner voice and what you want to do as an artist, and not being swayed by other people. Yeah, that's it for this video. Please check out my art store if you're interested, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Oh yeah, and also I got a haircut. I feel like I just forgot to say in the beginning of this video. Main reason is because I wanted my hair to be healthy again, so I chopped off most of my bleached hair, but you know, I love pink so much that I wanted to keep some, and yeah, it's also hot, so I decided to cut my hair short. Yeah, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.